So I've finally sorted out my recording software, no longer using the Radeon software that is paired with my graphics card, as there was a lot of desyncing. So towards the end of the video and quite towards the start as well, you'd be able to hear what I was doing in the game before I actually did it. But now you don't have to worry, there's no longer a second delay. And as well as that, I fixed the microphone as well. So after killing that crocodile, you can come round here and we can pick up a few optional extras first before making our way on to the main room. Just like the other two levels in Greece, the main room has an overruling puzzle which you need to solve to finish the level. So just take care of both lions, keeping your distance. You can jump on the rocks if you'd like. You would be safe if you just jumped up here, but there's no need to. Plenty of room. And as we come round the corner, you'll see that there's 4 bats that you can take care of. And to your left, there will be a small Medipack. You can also hear the sound of flowing water, and we'll get there in a little bit. Now run back the way you came, but don't go through the door yet. Instead, run straight to the opposite side. And just round the corner here, there's a gorilla. So take care of that. There you go. And pick up the 2 Magnum clips, which I called Uzi clips when I was recording some Francis's Folly, but I was so tired by the end of that 9th run through. So now we can run up the stairs that we skipped earlier and proceed on to the main room, which has 3 gorillas in it, so be prepared when you go in. But it's a very large room, so there's no need to lure them out unless you want to, because it's definitely possible to take them all on at once quite safely. There you go. So first off, we're going to make our way up here to collect some more Magnum clips and a small Medipack. After that, we can then drop down and climb back over here on top of the sand block. Now, there's 2 ways to proceed. You can either use the shortcut, which I'll show you first, but it's a little bit tricky, or you can use the intended route. So the shortcut, you just want to walk into the corner here, but not right up against the wall, and then do a running jump. Just like that. If you were up against the wall, then Lara would hit her side, and she wouldn't be able to make it up there. So if you do struggle doing that jump, or just want to do it the proper way, you can instead make your way along these pillars. If I can even make the jump, that is. The reason why I'm trying to do them all in quick succession is just for practice for a later trial in the level, in which you'll have to do quite a few consecutive jumps all together without fail. To make your way over here, and make sure to do a running jump, otherwise you won't make this one. Now listen to the awesome music that plays when you jump on here. Open the shortcut so you don't have to do the jumps again. And now we're going to collect the seemingly impossible Medipack over here. So first make your way across. And what you need to do is a bug called the corner bug. So you need to make sure that Lara's right up against the wall and sidestep right into the corner so she can't go any further. Then turn her ever so slightly more than 45 degrees to the right and hold jump. You'll see that eventually her left arm will start clipping into the wall. If it doesn't, then just turn yourself a little bit more until it does. And that's how you get up to collect the once unreachable small Medipack. So I'll show you how to do that again, just one more time, in case. So make sure you're right in the corner, turn a little bit more than 45 degrees to the right, hold jump until Lara's arm clips into the wall, and eventually she'll just make it up if you hold jump the whole time. So now that we've collected that Medipack, we can make our way back. So what we want to do now is open the various doors around the room. And you can do them in any order, except the last one. So first we're going to try to open the door there. And as you can see, there's one upsilon followed by 4 omegas. Now the upsilon stands for down on the lever, and the omega is up. So if we pull down on the first one and go over, we'll see that the door is now open. So this is the trial that I spoke about earlier, where you need to do the jumps in quick succession. So first of all, just come down here and take out the 3 rats that are in the water, just in case you do fall, because you don't want them to gnaw down your health. There's the second. Third one's all the way over there. See if it comes closer. If not, you can jump in the water and lure it. There you go. Now it's following me. So lure it over here. So now that all 3 rats are taken care of, you can use the first save crystal of the level. Of course, don't forget you can save whenever you need to if you're playing on the computer. So after saving, you now need to make the jumps across here all in one quick succession. So you'll always want to hold forward and jump the whole time. But you do have to move left and right ever so slightly just to make sure that you don't overshoot or undershoot your jumps. So you want to hold the jump button just before Lara steps on the first hole that the fire's coming out of. It might take you a few tries. Just like that, you can see I jumped a little bit too early, so she staggered. So if that happens, just come back and try again, because it's a very strict timer, and if you run out of time, you will burn, and it will damage you a lot. So this time I'm going to run across, try to jump a little bit later. I feel like that might have been a bit too late. Yeah. But as long as you've killed the rats, you're 100% safe here, and it's better to take a lot of tries than it is to end up dying. We'll try that again. There you go. And then grab on and just continue running. Don't try to jump or anything, because it's quicker to just run. And now you can collect the first lead bar of the level. These will come in very important later, but at the moment it's not entirely clear what to do with them. but the idea that we're playing in a level called Palace Midas might give you a clue. So now that we've finally finished that first trial, and possibly the hardest out of them all, we can go back up, and this time we're going to try and open this door. So we've got omega, omega, upsilon, omega, upsilon. So the middle one needs to be down, and the far right one needs to be down, with all of the others up. Just make your way back up the stairs. Pull this lever, pull this lever, and pull this lever. You have to do these one at a time as well. Take care of the gorilla. So yeah, you'll see now that the door we went through there is closed, so you can't just do all the combinations and then proceed afterwards. So if you are going to go through the spikes, make sure you hold the walk button, otherwise you'll take a lot of damage. So the gorilla that just spawned actually spawns after you finish that first trial. But it didn't see me until I'd activated the levers. So as you can see, all of these pillars are down. But since we've pulled out that block twice, we can run behind it and pull the lever and be prepared for an absolutely awful sound. Now that that's played, we can make our way back up to the ledge, and all of those pillars will have risen. It's important that you also use the save crystal here. So now do a standing jump from the edge, do a running jump onto here, again do a running jump onto here, make a running jump over to this one, then do a standing jump and grab onto this one, and a running jump onto the last one. Now when you jump in here, a gorilla is going to spawn, so just be very careful. So I like to walk up to the edge, then take one step back and do a standing jump, and you'll make it. And then just try to take care of it. It is entirely possible to roll out and then make your way back onto the pillar if you'd prefer, but taking care of it in this small space isn't too bad, because you'll realise quite quickly that the AI isn't very good and that it won't lock onto you very much. So once you've made your way down here, once again walk through the spikes, and we can proceed on to the third and longest trial of them all. So for this one, it's not entirely clear what the combination is. So if you do this, and then look at the symbols, you'll realise that the first symbol there is completely gone and you can't see it. And then you've got two upsilons in the middle and two omegas on the outside. So all you have to do is trial and error with this lever, but as you can see, this one's pulled down and it's not worked. So if you pull it up instead, you'll see that the door has now opened. So it's evident that the tile was an omega. Once you've come down here, pull the block out once, you'll see the screen shakes quite aggressively. You'll also hear a large crash. So as you come up the stairs now, you can see that the room that we were just in has now collapsed because you've just pulled the support out from under the pillar. So walk up to the edge and do a standing jump, but hold action as soon as you jump, and Lara will actually make a shorter jump, otherwise you'll overshoot that. So whenever you do a jump, if you hold action straight away, then she doesn't jump as far. Now do a running jump about this angle, so that you still grab on, but you also have to be far enough to the left from the edge that there's enough for her to grab onto. And then do the same here, this time far enough to the right from the edge, but you also need to be as straight as possible, otherwise you won't make the jump. So now that we've done that, we can climb up here. And you'll see that we've made our way back into the room that we were in before, where we could hear the running water. So use the save crystal. And if you can, take care of the enemies from where you're standing, but if not, you can just jump over. It's relatively safe. If Lara wants to lock onto the gorilla, if it actually wants to move, which it evidently doesn't, you'll also notice that there's two crocodiles, so take them both out. They do have a tendency to hide in this alcove here, so you sometimes have to swim into the water and lure them out to climb back up. Once you've taken the crocodiles out, we can come in here and finally discover the first secret of the level. So you can run and jump across here, but it's not very consistent. Instead, the best method is to walk and do a standing jump and just hold jump, and Lara will make it across. Now you can pick up the magnum clips and the small Medipack. So now make your way back to the entrance of the room. And this time, drop down from the very far right edge to avoid taking any damage. And pick up your rewards. Now jump over and take care of the next gorilla. And also come around here. There you go. Now I've just realised that that sound might not be the running water. Instead, it might be the fire from the trial that we did earlier. Now there's a gorilla here that sometimes spawns before you come over, but sometimes you actually have to jump over before it spawns. So take care of it. also be very, very careful not to fall off the edge here. So there's another gorilla that just spawns in this final alcove, as you can hear. So keep your distance, because they do have a tendency to knock you off and you'll have to run all the way back round again. After taking care of those two, make a running jump across here and pick up the large Medipack. And then drop down and climb to the left. Once you get to the end, you'll want to drop down, roll straight away, and shoot the two bats that come after you. There's one. And there's the other. So now as we come up here, you'll notice when we get to the top that there's a breakable floor. So just make sure that you don't run on that. Instead, make a jump over to the large Medipack. If you do fall through there, it's not a large issue. It just drops you down into that room with the crocodiles earlier. So as long as you've taken them out, you're safe. It's just annoying to come back. Now slide down here. So now you'll notice some intense music will start to play, and a lion's going to come running. If you just stand here though, you can take it out in time with just your pistols. Continue round. Make your way into the next room. Again, you don't want to fall here because you'll have to run all the way back round, which is a big pain, unless you want to do a corner bug on one of these pillars as well, because that does work. If you can, take out the gorillas from here, but that one over there might not come through, so we can take it out in a bit. Instead, just do a running jump. Now there is a crocodile in here. Sometimes you can lock onto it from where Lara is standing. Sometimes you'll have to swim through. But because there's only one, it's relatively safe. You can swim to the other side and take it out from the other side if you want. Now carefully walk to the edge. Take out the bats. And use the save crystal just here. Once you've used the save crystal, pick up your final lead bar. And try to take out the two gorillas and two lions from here. If they run away, you might have to go down and chase them. As you can see, the gorilla we spawned earlier has now come through. There you go. Two lions are over there. See if we can take them out from up here. Away that one runs. and the next. But that's okay, because we can drop down here and then chase after them. There's one. And there's the other. Now before proceeding, go back, pick up the large Medipack and the door will open for you. Pull this lever to open the gardens. And then you can also use the save crystal that's in here. Now 3 more gorillas spawn in this room. So be careful to take them out quickly. Again, you can hear Lara grunting quite a lot, but that's just because they've run into her. But the only time you'll actually take damage is if they hit you with their attacks. Now we can go this way. And take care of the gorillas in this room as well. Pull the sneakily placed lever behind this shrub. And then get to the opening here. Now, you'll have heard the secret play. And you can now see that there's some spikes in the wall, which start to activate when you get close. So, what you want to do is stand about this close to them, and you'll hear when they close that there's 2 clangs, and on the second clang you want to do a standing jump forward. You might take a bit of damage if you time it wrong like I did there, but I still have a lot of health, so it's perfectly fine. Pick up everything in here. Swear there's something else to collect. Obviously not. And then make your way back. There you go. Now this time we want to climb up onto here. Do a standing jump. Pull up and collect the large Medipack. And now come through into the room with the broken Midas statue. So first of all, just come up here and make a save at the save crystal if you need to. And now that you've saved, just for fun, jump on the hand. So now that we've just turned Lara to gold, we can actually solve this puzzle properly. Instead, what you're supposed to do is come up to here and press the action button, and you can then place the lead bars and turn them into gold. After turning all 3 of the lead bars to gold, we can then return to the main room and open up that last door that we didn't get earlier. You'll notice that this door stays closed. You can never actually get through it, there's nothing through there. So run back through the corridor that we faced the crocodile at the beginning of the level. And then we can take the time to come around here and inspect the final door. Down, up, 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 down. Once you've opened the door, make your way through, and be very careful, as there is a lion who will come out and attack you when you walk through, and it's a very, very small space. There you go. Just use the height to your advantage, and you'll be fine. So before we progress through to the end of the level, come through here onto the balcony and get the final pickup of the level, some shotgun shells, and use the final save crystal just here. Now you can make your way through and place the gold bars in the conveniently shaped pedestals for them. As you can see, it tells you there you need 3 gold bars to pass. As Lara places it mid-jump. And the last one. Another placement while she's in the air. And then we can slide down the slope and finish the level.